some team news. Has the squad picked up any new injuries from Sunday's game?
No new injuries, so everyone is available, same squad.
I know we asked kind of last week in terms of Leah, only because we saw her again kind of involved in the training session. Is she she got any chance for tomorrow, or was it still the same timeline when you're looking at December for her?
Yeah, same timeline, so she's progressing really well. Like you guys saw today, she's part of more and more elements in training, and she's making steps, so that's really good, but not available for selection tomorrow.
After Sunday's game, something I picked out that you said was it's hard at the moment, and talking about for yourself and for the squad. Just after having a couple more days to kind of reflect, what's the kind of the biggest issue right now for the team?
Yeah, like I said, we don't deny it. We acknowledge that it's difficult, but we also know the strength in the team, and I think we know what we're capable of and the strengths that we have in the squad. And of course, again, we've analyzed the game and picked out the details. But if you tell the story of the block, it's Leicester is a good performance. It's a good result. Chelsea, I think it's two top teams going against each other. I think we dominate parts of the game, and we wanted more from a results perspective. Bayern is a good first half against, again, a top opponent. Second half, we are, of course, very critical of ourselves. We give it away, and then there's a lot of games, and then short turnaround into a North London derby. And if you look at what we concede from an XG perspective, it's close to nothing. But we don't create enough in that game, and we've seen that if you compare to last year and how easy it was for us to score goals and the type of opportunities we created, that's a little bit harder for us at the moment, so that's something we've looked at.
Just in terms of the team this season, I know the Champions League was obviously an amazing accomplishment, and it obviously gives so much positive to the squad, to the team, to the club. Is there any danger that there's been a sort of a hangover from the win, or that the winning of the competition itself brings a huge expectation now to the season that maybe the players are sort of struggling with? Is that fair?
Yeah, well, that's not something we talk about, because if that were the case, then that's something that we can't control in our environment. So, it's of course through the win in the Champions League and a couple of really good performances last year, expectations rise. And yeah, I think it's a saying, or it's easier to get to the top than staying at the top. So what do you have to do to keep on delivering those things? And with getting to the top, like we did in the Champions League, winning the Champions League, expectations rise. And I don't think the expectations on the outside are affecting us. But of course, we have high expectations on ourselves because we know what we're capable of, and that's what we're dealing with at the moment. At the same time, I know that the squad is really good at being in the moment, taking it game to game, and preparing as well as possible to be able to execute, and always having that reflection. And I think there's no difference in that, how the team has taken ownership and accountability. That's exactly the same as last year.
Just with the WSL, just in terms of the points drop now 11 and being 8 points off City, how realistic is it to think that you might win that competition?
Yeah, it's again, in all honesty, that's not the position we wished we were in, but that's reality now. And then, of course, we never stop believing because we're not halfway through the season yet, and you see that WSL is more competitive. You see other teams losing points this weekend as well, and but yeah, we are chasing it at the moment.
Can I ask you, Marion, a similar question? Just because you won the Champions League 4 times, obviously once with Arsenal. In your time here, how have you found the difference between the competitions? Because, like I said, you won it last year with Arsenal, but maybe struggled slightly or not been at the level maybe that a lot of people would expect that Arsenal to be in the WSL.
Well, I think it's hard to beat that high level every game. Like we have a big challenge in every game. We don't have a lot of time between games, and everyone wants to win us now, even more when we won the Champions League last year. So they want to beat us, and it's not that we are in a hangover or whatever. It's just like it's hard to stay high every game and do things perfect every game. It's what we want, and we are trying so hard and we want to turn that situation, but that's football, and that's the reality of that league, of the women's football right now. The level is so high and everyone can hurt you. So yeah, we need to be more consistent, that we are aware of that, and that's what we want.
Like I said, personally for you, having won the Champions League so many times, is it kind of almost a real ambition of yours and priority for you to do well in the WSL?
Well, I would love to win the WSL, of course, the FA Cup, like all that competitions that I haven't won yet. So that's of course a goal, but you can't look like the big picture. It's like day by day, game by day, game by game. So of course it's my wish, and it's our wish from all the team, and that's why we are working every day. That's why we put all our effort, like we prioritize that in our lives. It's because we love it, and it's because what we want, but it's not all in our hands right now because we haven't started how we wanted, but we will keep pushing, and yeah, we will keep trying.
How much of a boost has it been to have Leah back in training and back around the group a bit closer in the last few weeks?
Yeah, of course, like now we are missing our both captains, so that's hard for the team. They are so important for us, Kim and Leah, and I think like we don't need to rush her at all. She had a few injuries on her knee, so she has to prioritize herself, and we need to do our job even without her. And then when she feels ready, we will be so happy to have her back because she's one of our best players. But she is in her progress, so she needs her time, and we need to deal with that.
There was a video the other day where Chloe Kelly put you in her top 3 players in the world. She obviously rates it very highly, as a lot of people do. You know, you had such an amazing season last year, winning the PFA Women's Player of the Year, the Women's Super League Player of the Year. I just wondered, do you feel like you're in the peak of your career right now? Because, like I said, your own players are putting you in such a high level. You're being voted for all of these different awards. Had such a fantastic season last year. How do you feel that where you are in your career right now?
Well, it's a big honor when your teammates like evaluate you like that. I think that's the big recognition you can have. But yeah, I'm now 29. I spent 10 years in the same club, and then had that step, a big chance and a big change in my career. And I think I proved to myself that I can play not only in Barca style, which I think it was important. And yeah, it's just so nice when your teammates that they are training and working with you every day recognize you. I think it's really nice.
Thanks very much. Helen?
Yeah, it's a weird season because at the beginning of the season, London City Lionesses and Man City lost their opening games quite badly. And everyone was like, oh, terrible. And now they are the form teams of the season, basically, at the moment. LCL are winning everything, home and away. Man City, I think that's the only game they've lost. They've won every single game since. So it is a bit of a topsy-turvy season. So do you think people's expectations are maybe sometimes a bit unreasonable? The fans who come in, they expect Arsenal just to win every single game.
And we love that because that's also what we want to achieve and what we believe we can do. So that's the positive, and that belief that the fans give us and the outside world give us. That's great. That's helping us, and it brings us definitely energy. But yeah, I think I've said it many times already at the start of the season. I think the league has changed, and which is very good for the wider picture of the growth of the sport in this country and wider as well. So that's really positive. And I think in line with what Mariona just said, you see how teams approach playing against us. There's this desire to beat the European champions. So that's something that has changed that we didn't face last year. But that's something we have to deal with, because if we are here and this is our position, then we have to manage that. But yeah, so I think I agree. The league is different this year.
Watching the European teams and the WSL teams, and WSL 2 actually as well, the standard seems to have lifted, I would say, 30-40% higher across all these different leagues. Everyone is strengthened, they've all got new coaching systems. And if you look at Spurs, they've not just added a new manager, they've got lots of new coaching staff as well. So it means that people come in and see that and they think it's a bad thing to draw, but to draw away at Spurs when they're in that form as well. I think maybe sometimes people have a bit of a knee-jerk reaction to what I'm saying, I guess.
Yeah, no, I think that's perspective. That's catching the perspective. At the same time, that game against Tottenham, we wanted to win, and in our opinion, we should have won because we don't allow them anything almost from an XG perspective, and we are dominant, especially the second half. We just don't create big enough chances and convert the chances. But so that's that game specifically. But I think, like you say, the league is growing, and that's a big compliment to the league and to England how we're investing here. So that's really positive.
Mariona, for you, I imagine when you play a Spanish team now, because you've played Real Madrid in your career maybe 100 times, I don't know. Maybe more, it must be a huge amount. Do you look forward to, can you enjoy this kind of tie, like tomorrow night under the lights at Boreham Wood?
Well, for me it will be always special to play against Real Madrid. I'm a Barca kid. I have been in Barca for 10 years, so that's a big rivalry. Like, it's true, like the women of Real Madrid haven't existed for that long, so I haven't played them 100 times yet, but quite a lot already. And yeah, I'm excited. I think we have a really good chance to show everyone and ourselves that what we want to do, and they are a big team. So I'm really excited to play against them.
And apart from the main stars, they've got like Caroline Weir and Linda Caicedo. Are there particular players in Real Madrid that you look forward to playing against?
Well, exactly the two players you said. I think Linda Caicedo is smashing this year. She's playing really, really good, and Caroline Weir as well. Like Eva Navarro now is playing more and more. Tabriz, Angel Dalda. We know all the players. Like they have a big squad, and they are a strong team. But we saw it last year in the first leg. We weren't good enough. They smashed us, and then the second leg we were good, and then we hurt them. So I think it will be about us. If we are in our best performance, I believe and I know we can hurt them.
Okay, thank you. Good luck.
Thanks. Robert.
Hi Mariona, congratulations. You'll go against Olympic Lyonnais on the 27th of April. Has been nominated for the FIFA Martyr Awards. I was just going to ask you about that and share your thoughts on that goal particularly.
What, sorry?
You got a nomination for best goal. Lyonnais.
Yeah.
Remember about that goal being nominated?
I mean, it was a great moment. I think that game was really special because it was when we qualify for the final, right? And scoring goals is always exciting, and when you can help the team even more. So, yeah, I wish I can score more and help to the team. So I'm happy with the nominated.
Going into this game tomorrow against Real Madrid, have you seen any differences this season to the team you faced last season?
Well, they have a new coach, and I think when you have a new coach, everything changes a bit. Like everyone wants to do a step and show that they are ready. I think they start really well this season, and yeah, even the last game against Barca, I think the 4-0 was not really how was the game. I think Real Madrid had the chances as well, and it was a tight game for a moment, and we know how hard is playing against Barca. So yeah, they have a good individual, and I think now they are a good team, so it will be hard for sure.
And Rennie, what's your overall assessment of Real Madrid, what you expect from them tomorrow?
Yeah, all aligned with Mariona. I think their games might be a little bit more open this year. So that's something that we have to prepare for, and something we want to organize in a good way. You see that their key players play in a little bit different roles this year compared to last year. So that's also something to look up for. Otherwise, you see a lot of similar structures and similar players on the pitch compared to last year.
Thanks. We'll come to the call now. Tim.
Yeah, hi Renee. I wanted to build on that question a bit. Actually, I watched the Real Madrid-Barca game, and Real Madrid very front-footed, very high defensive line, engaging player for player. I wondered if you're expecting that from them, or whether you felt that was just a tactic moment?
No, that's what we're preparing for. If you look at our goal kick situations last year, we've taken a lot of references from the game at the Emirates. You see them going high and player for player on those situations as well. So we are absolutely expecting that. I think they do that for longer and with a lot of conviction. I think they maybe earlier last year decided to drop into more of a mid-block. But yeah, I haven't spoken to the coach. I don't know what their plan is for tomorrow. But yeah, I see a difference from last year. So that's, I think, also why the game becomes a little bit more open.
And can I ask as well about the midfield on Sunday at Spurs? It felt to me like there'd been a slight shift in terms of Kyra's role. Looked very much like a kind of lone six. It looked a bit more like a 6 and 2 8s to me. I don't know whether that was a deliberate shift or whether that was due to the game today, or maybe I'm totally and utterly wrong.
Yeah, Kyra got a clear role going into the game, so she was going to play close to the back line, and I think with Mariona in midfield, she has the freedom to find spaces. So that's the balance we wanted to create with 4 players behind the ball as much as possible. So yeah, but she did well in that role. And of course we have the options now with different midfielders now. Whilst Kim is out, there's other players stepping in with different qualities, and that's of course the depth in the squad that we want and need.
Thanks. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Tim. Rose?
Hi, Renee. Nice to speak to you again. Hope you're well. So yeah, kind of in general, how hard is it for a manager to develop a true identity, a true identifiable playing style, but not be too predictable for other teams at the same time?
Yeah, I think with that's part of our identity, that we are unpredictable. So we want to have different threats, whether it's being able to build long attacks, being direct, being able to play out of pressure, being able to bypass pressure, build in more and more quality on our set pieces, all types of set pieces. And then, of course, our ability to cause turnovers high up the pitch and be aggressive, but also be disciplined in other phases. So it's, and I think that's where the game is growing. I don't think you do one thing and try to do that really well. I think you have to be able to manage a lot of things in the game and bring variety to what you do. And that's structurally, but that's also with the different player qualities that we have in the squad.
Okay, thanks, interesting. And Chloe Kelly hasn't played a lot. We all presume due to an injury because her knees hardly strapped. She was called up to the line as a squad today. How do you manage, if it is an injury, the loads together with Serena's team?
You know, most players are they stretch themselves physically. So I think football player is never really totally pain-free. But Chloe is okay. She's fit, and she has been fit for a while. She's, of course, the start of pre-season she missed the West Ham game and a couple of training sessions. But since then she's been building back, and some things take a little bit longer than others. But she's fully fit and available.
Okay, good to hear. And for you, Mariana, what do you feel is the main takeaway from this last block of games? So what's the biggest lesson you've learned after this block of games?
Well, I think we had a really hard block, but at the same time, it's the kind of games we want to play because they are the biggest one. And I think our learnings is that we need to be focused the 90 minutes, and that when we are good, we can beat anyone. But at the same time, when we are not focused full, then the other teams can hurt us as well. So. Yeah, I think we need to take it positive because it's done and we can't change it anymore, but we can improve, and we are reviewing our games, what we can do better in the high press, how we can attack better with the ball, and hopefully we can show tomorrow what we want to do.
Okay, thank you. Good luck to you both.
Thank you.
Thanks. Izzy?
Hi both. I just wanted to ask Mariana, you've just spoken about lessons you've learned in this block, but how do you manage your emotions coming into a big Champions League game like this after a kind of slightly tough run of results?
Yeah, it's hard. I think we get really emotional with these games, and when things don't go your way, it's hard. But we play every 3-4 days, so we don't really have time to think about what happened in the past. And now we play in Bournemouth against Real Madrid, a Champions League game, and then we have an international break. So we are really looking forward to that. I think we are motivated enough to win that game, to show again what football we want to play and what football we can play. So I think with these games you don't need nothing extra or nothing different. I think it's a really exciting game and Champions League, you know, and we have good memories about Real Madrid, so we hope we can keep going that way.
Brilliant. And Renee, Maria says you have good memories of playing Real Madrid, but I don't think Real Madrid have such good memories of playing you guys, especially here in England. So do you think that they'll be looking for revenge tomorrow evening?
I don't know how they work, where they find their motivation and drive. I guess same as us in preparation, they've watched the game back and maybe the first game as well, although that pitch was really hard to play on and we have totally different circumstances tomorrow. So yeah, they will find their motivation and their drive and their plan, and they've definitely watched that game. And I can imagine they weren't happy with that result, and they will want to do things differently. So let's see what they bring, and yeah, where they find their motivation, I can't answer.